The match, which books Marty Scurll's plane ticket around the world.
I remember spilling this as the biggest match of my career, sell a few more tickets. This is it. This is the biggest match of my career.
When you're talking about someone's abilities to match Marty Scurll inside the ring, you can look no further than the generic luchador, El Generico, the man he will face on Sunday, March 6th.
I've been in this situation before, the underdog. See, people think I'm going to lose, but I'm not. I'm going to win. I do everything in my power to make sure my hand's raised. This is it. This is my time. The fans in Singapore think they've seen the best of Marty Scurll, but I promise you this, they haven't seen anything yet.
One thing which has been consistent about El Generico is that each and every time he steals a show, expect Sunday, March 6th to be no different. So on Sunday, March 6th, when El Generico and Marty Scurll collide, you expect fireworks to happen.
What's not to be excited about?
For the third time this evening, we hear the music of the leaders of the new school.
Ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know that there is medical treatment being sought for Sharp Samuels backstage after that last match. But here we are for the main event of IPW No Escape 2011. And we see him again, it's Marty Scurll.
Oh, look at me. I'm not going to be very professional here for a moment, but look at me. I'm Marty Scurll. I'm in the main event. I'm gonna cast aside my leader's colours. I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna be my own man. The only thing tying him to a tag team is that gold that he's carrying in his hands. Where's the respect for his tag partner, Zack Sabre Jr.? Where is his need to be part of the team?
And that cat call can only mean one thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the sitting born return of El Generico.
Here is a man that flies his own flag, walks his own way, talks his own talk and backs it up in the ring. The generic luchador, El Generico.
Well, Marty Scurll there, really making sure that he top and tails this card in the opening match and the tag match earlier, which feels like absolutely hours ago after all the action we've seen, facing up in a main event against El Generico.
How the crowd has any energy left. They have been taken through the ringer. Olay indeed.
Marty Scurll doesn't want to waste any time, wants to get straight into the action. Referee Chris Roberts had his handful in the last matches, making sure that there's still some decorum.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following bout is set for Hangpo and is tonight 9 in 10. Introducing first, to my left, fighting out of the blue corner, he hails from Cambridge. He is one half of the undisputed British Tag Team Champions. And tonight, he Guatemala, Mexico. The Generic Luchador.
Smooth. That's real classy of the fans here in Singapore. Boo the best referee in Europe.
Indeed, Chris Roberts is a highly trained official, and it's only he who can be used to referee such matches as we saw earlier with Shah Samuels and Terry Fraser, and indeed this, the second match of Marty's Sittingbourne show today, and the main event of No Escape 2011. Marty Scurll in the gold trunks versus El Generico in the red and black tights.
And how do you approach this? Tom Chamberlain, you've stepped through the ropes, you've been in the squared circle as much as I have, and we both know that tag team wrestling and singles wrestling are two completely different things. How does Marty Scurll switch gears from the opening contest to the main event?
Well, is it that Marty's a great tag team wrestler who just so happens to be a really good singles wrestler? Is he a great singles wrestler who only manages to get away with being a good tag team wrestler? I think this is the match that will eventually decide that. Marty Scurll trying to push the mask back off El Generico. Rather comically high-fiving El Generico and then giving your aid.
Well, I'm going to point this out. Marty Scurll has a nefarious side. He's got a bit of a vindictive streak in him, which we don't see very often since he started pandering to the crowd. I think Zack Sabre draws that out of him a little and placates him, but will we see that arrogant, snide side of him this evening?
It's very interesting to say. I think a lot of people have always known Marty to be flamboyant and somewhat. Wrist lock by Generico. But he's somewhat exuberant as well. And people have often mistaken his overconfidence for arrogance. So will it show out? Only Marty knows. Fantastic reversal there. Takes El Generico over.
Into the arm rip. I'm going to put a thought out there. Okay, we've got a tag team champion in the ring. A big singles win here in the main event of No Escape 2011 could set Marty Scurll up for a shot at Dave Mastiff.
Well, yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, the ramifications of this match could lead to Marty Scurll becoming a big-time contender for a singles career. And he's the tag team champion.
Well, let's put it this way. If I was Zack Sabre Jr., I'd be watching this with a keen eye. And looking at the demeanour, the demure of Marty Scurll, he's got that chip on his shoulder once again. And I'd be hoping Generico Ole kicks some sense back into the young Scurll. Standing switch, go behind.
I mean, it's well known that El Generico has worked all over the world, really. He's worked for many promotions, including Ring of Honor, including CZW, we already mentioned today.
He's had tryouts for TNA. They were incredibly high on him as an athlete. He is on the verge of superstardom rather than just stardom. This could be a scope in the cap for Scurll if he can keep his head in check.
Oh! El Generico showed some sportsmanship there, went for the chop and decided against it, and Marty Scurll goaded him. What was the best thing Marty Scurll was expecting to come of that situation?
Scurll got exactly what was coming to him and exactly what he deserved right there in that exchange.
Goes for the headlock, Marty Scurll makes sure it ducks straight behind.
Single leg trip, step through.
Marty Scurll looking incredibly fresh considering that he was wrestling earlier in the night in a tag bout.
Switches to the wrist. He had control of the leg. Why would you throw that away? Top arm and hammer. Generico in a bad place here. I mean, he's got a history of injury. His shoulders not being the least of them. Back to the head.
Neither man moving on that shoulder block there. I think Marty Scurll thought that he had the upper hand. El Generico, being ever so slightly taller, ever so slightly heavier, still made sure that he stayed on his feet.
Whereas before we saw Mastiff plough through Garnell with that, with two equal-sized competitors. Right, no one's going anywhere.
El Generico didn't get much purchase, so he decided to go for a chop instead.
Sleep, followed by the leap with the roll through. Here we go, standing switch up and over the top. Hurricanrana by Marty Scurll.
Marty Scurll reminding people that he's a fantastic high flyer when he wishes to be. It's not all about wrestling with Marty Scurll, and it's not all about theatrics.
Well, just as you say that, he goes and throws it back in your face. Drop kick to the butt of the jaw.
High angle drop kick. Generico kicks out. I think he was actually taken really by surprise with that. Big chop in the corner, not as big as El Generico's from earlier, unfortunately.
Big club to the back.
Marty Scurll going for a kick to the guts.
That'll crack a rib.
Very interesting wrestler, uses the mask to take El Generico over. I mean, obviously if the handle's there, you're going to use it.
That's what I said about an ex-girlfriend of mine. I'm looking here at Marty Scurll. Look at the way he's just conducting himself in the ring. There's that chip. There's that arrogance that I was talking about earlier. And there is a close fist punch right to the side of the face.
Another punch to the side of the face. El Generico fighting his way up. Big forearm there. I think you were thinking what I was. El Generico using his long arms for leverage for a reversal whip and a big tilt-a-whirl backbreaker.
Backbreaker indeed. A little bit of hesitation on the cover.
Impressive the way he presses his legs out to make sure that maximum weight is pressed down onto Marty Scurll. Marty Scurll checking his face after that big boot.
We've seen this throughout the night with these American competitors. Their covers, their pinfalls, everything is so crisp, so powerful, so precise. Look at Scurll's face.
Crisp and powerful, just like that chop there. Marty Scurll stuck where he really doesn't want to be, in the corner. El Generico's got some frightful strikes on him when he wants to.
Maybe somewhat of a language barrier between the referee and Generico, but Generico knows the rules. Dos, according to the referee, for the Mexican fans in attendance.
Making sure that IPW stays bilingual, are you, Gilligan?
By indeed, my friend. We cater for everyone. We do not discriminate. You can be a fan of IPW regardless of race, creed, colour or sexuality.
Big chop there again. Marty Scurll shots to the ribs. Marty Scurll's got a game plan. I don't think we realised it before. He's sticking those kicks, he's sticking those punches right into the ribs. Big chop.
Generico now just responding in kind for every one of those kicks, punches or chops. Generico has just laid a chop on Marty Scurll.
Marty's game plan a little bit more slow burn in this match, and unfortunately that might not do so good, because every time he retires to the corner to buy a bit of time, Generico's going to be back on him.
He is indeed. You have to think what this match means to El Generico though. He's a professional wrestler. This is his bread and butter. This is how he makes a living. A win in this big time contest has to set him up for a return, which means more money and a potential shot at Dave Mastiff, the champion.
Another kick to the gut there. Marty really working on ribs. Massive forearm.
That is not an exchange I'd want to get into if I was Scurll.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget as well, Marty Scurll wrestled in the opening match. And how can you forget? How can you forget that Marty Scurll wrestled in that opening match? That absolute blinder of a tag match earlier with the leaders. And this is his second match tonight.
If you look at Scurll and look at the way he's dressed, I'd say he's forgotten he was in the first contest, but he may soon remember as his body will start to ache, it'll hurt, every movement, every inch that he takes will just take its toll on his body.
Marty Scurll getting thrown straight out of the ring there by Generico. Many of these fights today have taken place outside of the ring as well.
Well, the last place you want to be with a luchador is on the outside.
I think that's the last place you want to be as a wrestler, is being thrown through the chairs.
I'll tell you who I would not want to be right now. I would not want to be Marty Scurll. Taking an impact like that into the chairs.
Marty Scurll just making the count. And back out the other side. Generico making sure that he stays on him this time. Body slam onto the floor. There's no pad in there. That's a body slam onto a floor.
This should hopefully knock some of the arrogance out of Scurll. I'm enjoying this contest as much as I enjoy a good sangria.
Marty Scurll having to answer another count. I mean, the whole time Marty Scurll's having to answer the count, he's using up energy. And the whole time El Generico is waiting for him like a snake. He's waiting to attack again.
Generico is just building up his reserves at the same time as he's taking it out of Scurll.
Big clothesline over the top there. And back again, El Generico takes him to the outside. Into the rigging.
That is not where I want to be thrown. I would not want to be Marty Scurll on the receiving end of this. Oh, that is the biggest boot you will ever get in your face.
And he's starting to count again. El Generico making sure that Chris Roberts starts to count again. He's going for a count out finish. Strange tactic.
They call this the berserker. Beating your opponent on the outside and going for a count out victory. It's not very common in matches because if you think if there is a title on the line, then you don't win by count out. But in this kind of contest, if he can beat his opponent so he cannot answer a 10 count, that is an issue of pride.
And Marty Scurll again answering the count. It actually turns out that this might be a very intelligent game plan. We've discussed several in the matches earlier. This might be the most intelligent one yet. Marty Scurll has had to wrestle several matches tonight already. This is his second. He's already going to be running low on energy reserves. You know, there's not much. He can't sit down and have a lay down or have a sleep or eat. You know, he's got to wrestle again, so he's got to make sure he's in the same condition. Generico, he's fresh. Apart from a long flight over, he's relatively fresh.
A long flight over and a long car drive. Whoa! Now we're going. Now we're firing. Oh!
Huge clothesline and another. Marty Scurll is on fire. Goes for the sleep back elbow. Cuts his head off with a back elbow.
Look at the look in the eye of Marty Scurll. That is focus. That is something I can get behind. That is something that
Generico cuts him off and straight to the outside. Marty Scurll scouted that.
What is going through Scurll's head right now is payback as much of a bitch as I think.
No, Marty! No! What's Marty Scurll doing? Oh! Huge moonsault press onto El Generico.
This has gone up a gear.
Marty is really G'ing the crowd up tonight. I mean, I can barely hear myself on a commentary desk.
Thankfully for me, I can't hear you at all. I want him to get louder. I don't want to hear you, Tom James. I don't want to hear any more of your insane comments. But what I'm seeing here is two people trying to end each other.
Marty Scurll takes him up for a torture rack. Oh! I couldn't even call that technique. Torture rack, he cast him off, drops him into the Prince's throne. Back on those ribs again. Marty Scurll working the ribs of El Generico. And all that early work he was doing in the fight is really paying off.
And Marty Scurll threw caution to the wind. He took a gamble and it paid off. Now he just needs to capitalise and end this as quickly as possible.
Big punch to the face of El Generico. Marty going up. He calls for the brainbuster.
That's not the wise thing you want to be doing up there. That's El Generico's signature. I would not want an annoyed, angry luchador holding me on the top rope. I don't like where this is going.
This doesn't look all a ticket to me. Big punch, Marty stays on top.
Oh no.
Marty Scurll performs.
Oh my god!
And a running punt to the face. 1, 2. Oh!
That is as close as you come to winning a match without actually winning. That was 2.99999.
An absolute jaw-dropping technique. Marty on the top with El Generico. A huge springboard hurricane rana. Takes Generico off the top to the floor and follows up with a Marty kick to the face. And he still kicks out.
What do you think these people are thinking right now? Are you thinking they're thinking there's our tag team champion? Or do you think they're thinking there's Marty Scurll?
Oh!
Wow!
And a kick out again. Marty Scurll went for the 450. There was nobody in the pool, but Marty saw it coming. He rolled out straight into a T-bone suplex into the corner.
He is reaching for his opponent. He is trying to get the strength to get back to his feet so he can inflict more damage. Generico looking to finish Scurll. Oh no. Oh! Helicopter! Blue Thunder!
Oh! The crowd are on their feet in some places.
For those of you watching on DVD, you will not know, or on demand, you will not know what it feels like to be surrounded by this audience. You need to come to IPW Live in Sittingbourne to experience this.
El Generico starting the music there. Marty Scurll goes for the boot. Marty Scurll to the back of the head with a boot.
Even with a mask on, you saw how much that hurt him in his face. He blocked it, he saw it coming, he's done his homework. Spin back kick. Scurll off the
Big boot to their face. Roman knuckle lock.
into a DDT! Super kick!
Oh, Marty Scurll. How to explain that? Like we were saying earlier, but Sammy Callahan, where he got to his feet too soon. Marty Scurll managed to rally with a super kick before going down for the count.
But in Scurll's case, where it cost Callahan, it may have saved Scurll. He had one last desperate attempt to just cut the momentum, to knock Generico out of his wits. And it paid off because neither man is standing.
Marty Scurll answers the 10 count.
I don't even know what that was! He just packaged him
An
into the
incredibly
floor!
dangerous high angle Michinoku driver off the ropes, and dear Lord, Marty Scurll is going to need to see an osteopath after this match.
Oh,
Big boot to the chin.
there is Ole! Followed by the
But he kicks out of that as well.
a dragon tiger suplex or a tiger dragon suplex, whichever half of it was each. And then
Marty
an
Scurll all
Ole-
6s and 7s after that suplex.
half and half suplex. The counter control technique. Oh, and again. Scurll is out. This one's over. 2.
And he kicks out of a second. Marty Scurll was kicked out of a second attempt.
El Generico the masked luchador, win, lose or draw, will be back in IPW UK on the back of this performance.
And whether it matters or not, whether he loses or not, Marty Scurll now has the fans' full support. Whether he wins this match or not, they're truly behind him.
Here is a question. How does Zack Sabre Jr. feel watching on with this? Seeing his fans. He lives not more than a mile down the road. How do you think Zack Sabre feels?
El Generico runs off. Huge boot to the face, and Marty's up. Marty takes a second in the corner.
I have seen this before. This is a face, skull, neck, back, body breaking maneuver. This is the brain buster. Oh my God.
And he goes for the cover. Chris
2,
Thomas, 1, 3, and that's all she wrote. El Generico is your victor in an absolute epic that has the people of Sittingbourne on their feet.
The Sittingbourne Spectacular is yet to come, but that was spectacular in Sittingbourne.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, El Generico.
Tom Chamberlain, it was your pleasure to call tonight's action with me, and it was my pleasure to call that match. That was fantastic. That was phenomenal.
That led us down so many twists and turns, we were getting dizzy.
I've been on drives down country lanes that were easier than that. Get me a Coke bottle, I'm going to go celebrate as only I know how, because I have enjoyed sitting here, Tom Chamberlain. I don't know about you, but it's a lot easier being here than it is on that side of things.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure to call the action with you, Gilligan, and to be here for several of the matches. And Generico, still a fan favourite.
I look forward to the return of El Generico in IPW.
I think he's got some words to say for the fans as well.
Are they for the fans or for Marty Scurll?
Un momento. Por favor, un momento. ¿Cómo se dice? My English? Shit.
Well, he knows that much.
No very good. Pero I have something to say. Marty. Tú eres muy fuerte, amigo. Un match, una noche. Tú eres fuerte. You win my respect, amigo. You're very strong. Gracias.
Marty Scurll took one for the team, and he is rewarded in kind.
Marty Scurll, you are one of the best, amigo. Thank you.
What a moment here at No Escape 2011. IPW UK continues to deliver time and time again.
And an absolute fitting treasure to the end of that show. Marty Scurll being given a standing ovation, as well as El Generico, by the people here. Ladies and gentlemen, where does all of these matches lead to for the next show in Sittingbourne, which is May the 15th?
the 15th is right, Tom Chamberlain. I'm out of here. Thank you for your company this evening, and I will see you next time.